it down a bit. It's really loud. Someone's hungover. Do I know numbers? 14, 64, 19, 7, 25. If you win, we split it. Go way over there. I see. Yes, you. Yes.
Hi. You guys talked about joking around a lot. What's the longest it's ever taken you guys to actually get a scene, and like how many takes did it take?
There's well-documented talks and panels of Misha telling a story of him actually not being able to complete his scene until we were removed from the soundstage.
It's as if he was shooting a scene here. He was like, I need you to leave. And we went to the hallway. He's like, no, I need you to leave the casino. And we were just laughing so hard that we didn't really realize that we had been used to it.
And at first we were like, yeah, whatever. And he turned to our first AD, I believe it was Johnny back at the time. And he's like, Johnny, I'm not gonna do it. It's just pointless at this point to do the scene with either of these guys in the building. And Johnny just turns and very seriously goes, guys, take a walk. We were like, seriously? Like, yeah, Robin, can you just come in here and read both Jared Jensen's lines, please, so Misha can actually get his coverage?
Hey, Marks.
Jared Jensen, seriously, guys, go walk, take a walk. I'll get Cliff in here to remove you. And we're like, that's fine. So that one took a while. There was also some earlier years where Jared's gastrointestinal issues would clear a set.
I used to eat a lot of protein.
For about a half an hour. It's interesting, since he got married and had kids, not much issue. Generally worked her magic on you, buddy.
I'm getting old. I stopped working out so much. I stopped eating so much protein.
There's just so much junk.
Junk.
But we've generally, it's self-inflicted time wasting that takes up so much time. It's very rare that it is something technical or some sort of crew mistake. Those guys are all pros and they're there just to watch us mess up. The other day we had like a light go down in called a BFL, which is a condor, and it's big effing light, it's BFL. So those are the big lights that you see up in the sky, and that went down. Well, that takes a lot. You gotta like lower an 80-foot platform down. You gotta replace the bulb. So that's 45 to an hour right there. But that rarely happens. Usually it's just him and I screw it on.
Thank you.
Yes, right here in the glasses.
Okay, so I was a fan of One Tree Hill long before I ever watched Supernatural, so my family, we all know Danielle before we knew you. So like in my family, I'll go home from a convention and they'll be like, Jensen did this, and they're like, which one's Jensen? I'm like, Danielle's. So it's kind of an interesting change.
If you say Jared did this, you'd be like, Danielle's not husband.
No, to be completely So my question is, if you could create a character for Danielle to come on the show as, because obviously Genevieve's been on the show, what role would you have her on the show as? Because I love her character.
Me too. I don't know. Knowing her as well as I do, I think it'd be, she would have more enjoyment playing a evil character.
Yeah.
So bad.
Tread lightly. My wife already played an evil character.
It's the evil ones that are the nicest in real life. Wow, thank you.
Hail Mary.
It was. Fox too. I don't know. I think it would be something in the lines of some omnipotent power, of badness. The darkness is certainly Amaro is a great character, and I think that I hope that kind of pans out to be as good as it could be. That would something kind of in that vein, I think, would be great for my wife. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Third row, third seat. Yes, you. Hi, wait. Or were you just stretching?
Good morning.
Good morning, that wasn't your fault. That was Jared's fault.
So by VegasCon, there's a question about a wrestling move, and you demonstrated the Impala, which is fantastic. And so with the wrestling episode this year, did you have an opportunity to use it off screen or not?
I did not get to.
No, and the scene in the ring where Dean gets in the ring and starts jumping around, like,
It's funny.
so this is why I love Phil. That was, I think it was like maybe 1 or 2 takes, and all I did was roll into the ring, get up, bounce off, I think the ropes once, do the Ric Flair, and then run over and climb up on to the corner there, and then I get busted. So they cut and repeated all of that stuff so much to where it looked like I was in there for like a half an hour running around. I did one take, and I guess Phil thought it was just so good that he was like, okay, we're just gonna, as though I got out of the ring and got back in like 5 times. I just did it once, but they edited it to where it looked like I was messing around in there for quite a while. Yeah, so had I known that they were gonna make such a meal out of it, I probably would have done some other moves. Luckily, I had Mike there, who kind of gave, he was like, dude, you gotta do the Ric Flair. And I was like, well, which one? Because he was kind of known for a few things. And he's like, this one, and he did it like perfect. I'm like, all right, that's what I'll do. Boom, I did it. And Mike was like, man, it took me like 5 years to learn how to do that. I'm like, well, I can imitate. I can't come up with it myself. And so yeah, so it was really quick, and but I didn't get a chance to do as much as I would have hoped to do had I known that they were going to cut such a big section together. So, oh well, next time.
Thank you.
Where are we at? How about with the phone out there?
What was that screen?
Color.
Color.
So you know.
Red!
Okay, comment first. It is so refreshing to have the boys talking to each other this season. And I was sitting in the living room just knowing that Dean was not going to tell Jared that his deepest desire was the darkness. And you did. You told him. And that,
Well, I called Sam. Dean called Sam.
Yes, I told Sam.
But Jared heard.
My question, anyway, I almost fell out of the chair. I was like, oh my God, I was just thinking, he's not going to tell him. He's not going to tell him. He's going to go again. But you did, and that was refreshing.
You're welcome.
My question is, since season 12 is coming, are we going to see some directing again next season?
From what? I don't know. In fact, we just had a sit-down conversation with Mr. Singer, and until we're finished with this season, they don't really start lining those slots up. They have ideas, and they'll put those offers out to the agents of the directors and stuff like that. With me, it's a little different because it's kind of in-house. So they just kind of have to, ask me if I want to, and then I need to think about whether or not I want to commit, because I will warn you, it is, or I will tell you, it's an exhausting endeavor. I can't imagine doing a full feature film, you know, the way that some of these guys do. But the real thing is in doing an episode of television like our show, you have, you know, a week to a week and a half of prep time. And before that, you're reading and breaking down the script and trying to get ideas of what you want to do. Because it's all up to you. You've got all 80 people staring at you saying, what do you want us to do? And that can be pretty daunting. So to break that down, then to prep, then to facilitate and film, and then to go into post-production and edit and do all that stuff, it's you know, almost a month of draining experience. So that's why you don't see directors shoot one episode after another. They'll shoot, you know, Bob and Phil, they'll shoot 4 a year out of 23 episodes because they need that recovery time. Well, I don't get that recovery time because I gotta go right back into actually being Dean and filming for the next 9 months. And so to start out, stop it! To start out, it's like sprinting the first 4 miles of a marathon, and then going, okay, now we're going to need you to continue to jog for the rest of the, you know, whatever it is. So it's I'll have to talk if they allow me to do it. If they say, yeah, you know, it's up to you. I'll have to sit down and talk with Daniil and be like, all right, can we go through this again? I will say there's a lot of enjoyment that I get out of it, and there's a lot of it's just, you know, to be able to be in a space like we were talking about the crew earlier. We do have an amazing crew, and I know a lot of people say, a lot of actors, oh, the crew is amazing, but I mean, we really have family. We've been with these people for over a decade, a lot of them, and to be in an environment like that, and to know that they're not going to let you fail is just it's an inspiring thing, and to, you know, to have people that you can lean on for ideas or support it's a pretty incredible thing. I've been very fortunate to do, you know, I think 5 episodes now. So hopefully it works out. If not, that's okay. You know, maybe there'll be a season 13 and I'll do one then. But I will say that after our conversation with Bob, I think if things work out, you know, with deals and agents and contracts and stuff, I think they're going to bring back a few directors that you guys will be very happy to have. So I know we will.
I see 2 people waving their arms, and I don't know if they both have a question, but if so, I want y'all to fight. Like Donald Trump, fight each other.
No, she's my mom.
Okay.
I'm about to have a heart attack.
It looks like your sister.
All right.
It's often the most evil people who are the nicest.
Anyway, I really wanted to know, Jim Beaver said earlier that you guys did not have, I don't think, the ability to prank him good enough. He issued a challenge, and I really want to know how you're going to retaliate to that.
I didn't realize we've been challenged, but now that I know, now the creative juices are flowing. He's difficult to prank. I remember one time when he was laying in the hospital bed, pulling his little sheet up and getting his big toe and going like, just squeezing on it. And
I remember staring at that and then looking at him like how is that not? And just stone-faced. Like, no, not gonna do it.
He said that was the worst you've ever done. Anymore.
There's some of the
Joke's on us. He has no feeling from the knee down.
It was a prosthetic toe. He wears fake feet outside of his actual feet in preparation for me to do so. That's a good question. All right. Gauntlet has been thrown. Challenge accepted. We'll get to thinking.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right, I think we got one more question. Last question. All right, you did a glittery sign. Let's do that one.
You knew he'd go for the glitter, didn't you?
Yep.
Always does.
Even in death, you sparkle. Hi.
It's your birthday.
It's not my birthday, but thank you. Oh, thank you. Very belated. My birthday's in July.
So, okay.
My favorite thing on that note, my favorite thing is like when driving around on December 26th or 27th or January 1st, when you see people with Christmas lights still up, you're like, man, they're really putting them up early, huh?
All right, Spartans, what do you got?
I know you have your directions and there's the script and the storyline. But really, do you ever sit there and go, why did Dean not answer his phone? Why did Cass trust, why did Sam trust Crowley? Because that's worked out so well in the past for you. I mean, how do you justify it to yourselves? Because you're going, oh no, Dean's an idiot.
Yeah, what do you think? I mean, like you're telling.
Oh yeah,
Let's not forget, I picked you.
he raised you from perdition.
And I will put you back.
To perdition.
Yes, of course, over the past 200 and...
Bunch.
Good question. Yeah, so over that many episodes, sure, we read things and we're like, what? But, you know, we're also...
238.
Johnny on the spot here. But we also know that, you know, this is, we're invested and we know that these questions sometimes get asked for a reason, or these actions sometimes have meaning that we don't necessarily see right away. Maybe it's just to set up a storyline. Maybe it's to set up Sam going to hell and talking to Lucifer, or Dean, you know, missing that call so that he can't stop Sam going to, or whatever it is. There's generally a method to the madness, and we have to trust that the writers have a method, and so far they have. So, you know, we hope you do too.
The only times that I feel like, Sam, Dean, you're such idiots, is when it's actually like a fight scene scenario where maybe we've finished most of the sigil with like a finger, and then demons run in and we're like fighting them and losing, and then finally we put the finger up and they explode. You're like, why didn't they just do it the second the demons? You should like clap your hands if you believe, or clap your hands if you understand, or whatever. It's clap your hands if you believe.
Oh, that's a title?
Sam's fighting the fairy king, and all he has to do is like pour salt open, and he's getting beat up and thrown across the room, and finally he's about to die, and he like pours salt, and so the guy starts picking up the salt or whatever, and counting it. I actually added the line, like, why did I do that in the first place? And they kept it. We have something else coming up like that, where you're like, why don't they just finish this, which would have taken a millisecond before getting beat up for like 15 hours.
Because then they wouldn't have the scene of them getting beaten up, and the bad guy wouldn't have been able to give his exposition about why he's doing what he's doing. Just because there's 100 times where it's like, they are highly trained, they've been doing this their entire life. How would they get thrown across a room, but does their weapon always get always fly in a place that they can't find it?
Why is it that?
You know, like, first of all, two things. One, whenever we do actually get flown, or get sent flying off of whether it's an air ram or whether it's we throw ourselves, the instinctual thing to do is to grip tight. So I've actually had to tell my stunt double, Todd Scott, multiple times, dude, you gotta lose the knife when you get thrown through the closet. And he's like, right, got it. Every time. So, right there, it's just like, but again, then we would be armed and we would just kill the person and they wouldn't be able to choke us and tell us what they're doing and why they're doing what they're doing. And none of us would know anything. So,
and then also, we wouldn't be able to get saved by our brethren.
That's right. Love y'all guys. All right, guys, we'll see y'all in a little bit.